Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time in your area when you watch this video. Tom here, everybody. You read that title correctly. Welcome to my third sketchbook video tour. Let's get this started, shall we? Now, I need to explain this. Another YouTuber by the name of Dawn with Waffles suggested to do thumbnails to come up with the idea for the cover page, which is right over here. And as you can see, Tommy the Mischief Maker says, "Hey you guys, Tommy the Mischief Maker here." And Tom the Man says, "Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time in your area." Your good buddy Tom here. This is something that's a little different in the background. You will see the living room from my old home. And what I like about it is I took a little bit of real life in the sense that it was really raining that night. And we had the air conditioner on. And so there was a little bit of what my old home looked like before I moved. Let's continue. Sorry, these pages tend to stick. As usual, I start off with drawing cartoon heads. And here I was just doing little things to entertain myself with. The top cartoon head says on the phone, "Are we still on for tomorrow night, babe?" "No." "What do you mean, no?" "Hello? You still there? Hello?" And the other one was just practicing emotions when he takes a sip of soda and burps. This was a little gag at the time. The guy is lost, and he says, "Listen, bub, I don't know where I am. If I did, I wouldn't be calling for help now, would I be?" "No, I don't see a sign." As you can see, there's a sign behind him. "No, I don't see anybody around." As you can see, there's a pizza delivery boy behind him, and he says, "Here's your pizza you ordered." It was something I thought that was funny, but now falls kind of flat. And that's mostly because I don't really understand humor. Oh yes, here is Danny Phantom, a cartoon that I used to watch all the time on Nickelodeon. More cartoon heads. More cartoon heads. You see a lot of cartoon heads through here because it's alright to take baby steps towards drawing, and this is kind of like how I started out. Besides, you always got to start off with the head first. Squid Boy. This was a superhero inspired by the Men in Black movie, which I love, and I just got thinking about the aliens in that movie, what their lives were like, and decided to come up with Squid Boy. More cartoon heads. Oh yes, practicing shading as well as a little bit of perspective. More cartoon heads, and this one was also inspired by the Men in Black movie. He says, "Why do people always look at me as if I am different from them? I just don't get people at times." And as you can see, there's an eye coming out of his head. And more cartoon heads. More cartoon heads, and just little gags that I was thinking up. This one says, "What do you mean you don't remember making our date last night? How can somebody forget about a date? Hello, you there?" And this was just practicing different activities, people eating and drinking. More cartoon heads. More cartoon heads. Over here was a superhero I created called Captain Courageous, and just imagining what the comic book cover might look like if he was on the comic. More cartoon heads. Couple of cartoon heads and practicing more shading and perspective. More cartoon heads. And even more cartoon heads. More cartoon heads. Here I was practicing a little display for the movies. And here's a little cartoon I came up with where the kid is at a buffet and he says, "Where's all the food?" And the chef says, "Oh, it's gone. At least the dessert bar is still open, kid." And on the next page, he says, "Best supper ever." And he's having a banana split, cookies, Rice Krispie cakes, and well, I didn't want him to go home hungry. More cartoon heads. Oh yes, Adamant. Just practicing some superheroes. Cartoon heads. More cartoon heads. Now you may look it, but this one up here is not meant to be George Jetson, but he kind of came out looking like George Jetson. More cartoon heads. Oh, here's one I'm really proud of, because this is a dinosaur that I drew using a number 7. Can you figure out where the number 7 is? If you can't, the number 7 starts here, and then I added on the neck to it and went from there. I think I was inspired by Harp Tunes here on YouTube to do this. More cartoon heads. And now here's the last page, and Tommy the Mischief Maker says, "Hey you guys, Tommy the Mischief Maker and your good buddy Tom here. Thanks for looking through our 3rd sketchbook." And that has been a sketchbook video tour of my 3rd sketchbook. Thank you for listening and watching. Please make comments down below. Over and out from your good buddy Tom, everybody.